What are some of your favorite memories from your time at UCF? Like when you got the call, I'm sure you're thinking even more and more about your time as a student athlete. What kind of comes to mind?
My teammates more than anything. I even get choked up talking about them right now. My stroke scene, one of my peer partners, Caitlin Pauls, we lived together for 4 years and we had such a fun career together, and I was able to already see some of my old teammates since I've been here, and we had lunch together at Lazy Moon, which was really fun. And I just think of them a lot, and I also think the moment that came to mind, honestly, was several moments from the 2007 season, but when we beat the University of Virginia to really launch us into that top 10 and be ranked number 9 in the country. Beating Virginia that day, I still remember the look on my head coach's face because she was in a launch following us down. You could tell she was trying to hold in the smile, against the other coach that was there, and that memory to me stands out so much because that was a game changer in our program for sure.
Your proudest moment at UCF overseeing this career program, maybe your favorite memory. Can you share something that when you think about your 40 years, what stands out to you?
You know, I do have, I feel like my mind works in pictures, and I do have some moments that stand out, and they might not be things that, other people would think of. I remember when we beat Bethune-Cookman the first time. I mean, that was when Eddie O'Brien kicked and that thing hit the goalpost and bounced in, because so many things had bounced the wrong way for us for so long. So beating Bethune-Cookman, I remember the noise penalty game. I take tremendous pride in the fact that, the officials stopped the game and went over to Gene McDowell and said, "Your crowd is too loud. I need you to get on the microphone." If you can imagine this, at a college game, I need you to get on the microphone and tell them they've got to quiet down. And he said, "We'll take the penalty." And so there was that moment. And then, I felt like everything culminated with college game day for me. It was all of the things. Every piece was in place, and having the opportunity to showcase that to a national audience, putting Lee Corso in the entire mascot costume in 90 seconds, that was an awesome moment. And tied to that was the opening series when Cincinnati couldn't snap the ball.
What are some of your favorite memories as a student athlete, proudest moments? What kind of comes to mind when you think back on your career?
The biggest one is probably the Florida game my freshman year, because it's also how I met my husband. So it was a really big career moment and life moment as well. That would probably be number one. And then my whole senior season, I was so blessed to be a part of an amazing team that not only did we do well, but the girls were just like sisters, and I still keep in touch with them.
So you said you met your husband at the Florida. Can you tell us how that happened?
Well, yeah. So he was friends with one of my teammates, and he had never watched a softball game before on TV. And we were playing Florida, and they were it was gonna be televised. She told everyone to tune in, and he did. I was pitching. He liked what he saw. He asked my teammate if I was single. I happen to be single, and the rest is history. We have 2 little precious babies now that are here. So I think I did pretty well that game.
You're part of those teams that helped UCF kind of start to reach the next level, part of the first conference championship. What are some of your favorite memories and proudest moments during your time here?
I think now I just reached my biggest moment, and that's being inducted to the University of Central Florida Hall of Fame. But one of the big ones for me was definitely the conference championships. The run backs, playing Tulsa for those back-to-back, 05 and 07 year. Losing the first one, then coming back and redeeming ourselves, but being able to have an impact as a punt returner and scoring in both of those games, it was huge for me. That was a highlight for me. And being young, going to Hawaii, that experience there, along with a lot of my brothers, that was pretty cool. That was pretty cool at Honolulu.
What are some of your favorite memories of your time at UCF? What are some of your proudest moments? What do you think most about?
Most definitely the Liberty Bowl. I got a chance to play as a freshman early on, first game. I'll never forget that day. So, but again, writing history, the Liberty Bowl, winning our first, bowl game, definitely sits at the top at #1.